Is
Yeah,
there
I think
something,
that the thing that I
is there something for both of you? Is there something today that a Democrat could say that you know of that's floating out there as a policy idea to say Donald Trump's for X and our party's for Y that would appeal to the working class?
I don't know. To me, it's not obvious right this minute. But I think there are, if and I think people, this is where we all disagreed last week. I think Rahm saying, I am trying to figure out kind of what, if there's a theory of the case to present to the American people. I think smart politicians are doing that. You could be JB Pritzker, and we're going to get to this, and criticize and get everyone off their feet about how awful Trump is. Somebody is going to emerge to say, no, get behind me. Here's what we're going to charge him before.
right. And that's the way that you thread the needle matters in this.
Yep.
And the one thing I will say is that where Democrats miss sometimes is that largely the hit on Trump has been stylistic, right? You think about the first term, it's people like the policies, but I don't like the name calling. I don't like the tweets. And then the problem is that, but what I have always argued to folks is there's no perfect person out there, right? What would you rather have? The person that speaks just with the most grandiose, verbose talking points and makes you feel good and does nothing, which we have been fed up for decades? Or
Barack
would you
Obama.
rather or would you rather have somebody who actually gets stuff done, but you
Yeah.
don't agree with everything? And where the Democrats miss this is that they talk about the style, but then they can't pivot to the policy. And
Right.
that's the fundamental
But
problem.
here's what's confusing to me. There's all these issues Trump has taken positions on, just on the economy. Let's not talk about due process or all this other stuff. Just the economy. Trump's taken a million positions. Okay. Democrats on tariffs, they say, well, we like tariffs too, but we don't like the way Trump's done tariffs. That seems very wishy-washy, not a big
Yes.
contrast. Is there no issue on which either of you can name on economics where the Democrats can say Trump is weak, Trump is wrong, we are strong and right on this economic issue? Is there no such issue?
I mean, I just to fully candid. Yeah. I mean, if I sat around and thought about it for a few weeks, I'm sure I could come up with stuff. But I mean,
That's what,
look,
that's what,
Mark,
that's what, that's what Eisenhower said when he was asked what Nixon had done as vice president.
but Mark, this is what we've said now, or at least I've said now for the last 3 months, for the first 100 days. We have no leader and we have no agenda, right? I mean, that is our problem.
But I just find it puzzling. The Democrats think Trump is a disaster on the economy. The voters are having increasing doubts about it. And there's not one thing.
But Mark, this goes back to my point. It's stylistic. Their issues with Trump are style.
Well, no,
Well, no, they think he
that's
favors
not
they think he favors the wealthy. They think that the tariffs are going to cause inflation. I mean,
right. I
like,
mean,
they
yeah,
have substantive economic objections to Trump's policies. I just don't hear a
Mark, you know
single
what they
Democrat
don't
saying,
object to? They
yeah,
don't object to Trump's goals, reshoring, opening
yeah,
new. Like nobody's against that. To Sean's
right.
point, it's how he's
Well, they
trying to
are they
achieve it.
are they are against or they are in favor of the wealthiest in corporations paying more in
Not
taxes.
that is not true within the base is in favor of that. There are a
Well,
lot of if you look at where Democrats are now clustered, it is in urban centers along the coast. Those people are not in favor of that. I mean, this is where the party has to have an honest conversation about who we represent right now, right? We
right,
are more the white collar than the blue collar. Now, that's a problem, but you
right.
can't fire your existing customer base in the effort to get new customers.
The
That's
fundamental
the
problem
needle.
is twofold for the Democratic Party. Number one, you become the completely urban party.
Yep.
The people that you represent are in cities, New York,
In
LA.
suburbs, kind of those collar suburbs a little
Right.
bit. Yep.
But you do represent the rich right now. That's who you represent, the billionaires, the Hollywood.
College educated, I would say. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the problem is that you've lost the unions
Yep.
because you've kept the union leadership, but the men and women out there working with their hands in the trades, the pipe fitters, the plumbers, these folks culturally are not with the Democratic Party anymore. And this is the fundamental disconnect because these are people who you talk about taking away their guns, you talk about minimizing their faith and religious reasons and culture and family and stuff. And so there's a disconnect where the Democratic Party is right now. It used to be this patchwork of constituencies, gays, young black men and women. And it was never an overarching philosophical, ideological thing. What the Democratic Party has become in the last decade is a patchwork, a quilt of random constituencies that just are marginalized according to the party, and that's it. There's no there's no through line.
Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.